Hello, Louise.
Hi, Sam.
What are we watching this week?
Get over it.
Just say what you thought, Louise. Just get it off your chest. The way you fucking said the title.
You wouldn't have noticed if it wasn't for the fact that you texted me and you could tell that I wasn't into it.
No, you said the title like I just gave you a bottle of Robitussin and told you to drink it.
I'd prefer that. No, I'm kidding. It's one of those things where it's just so, because I loved the casting. I loved the concept of it. There was just some stuff that confused me. And then there was some stuff that I was like, oh, like I just wish there were more like scenes like at school, not part of the play. I think I said it was good because like the potential is there. I just didn't feel like it was fully realized personally.
I'm going to agree with everything you just said. For the people who, well, if you're watching this episode, I would hope you saw this movie. 2001, this to me is like the essence of the 2000s rom-com. The type of character, the type of misogyny, the type of like fashion. This is it. Y2K era. This movie to me hits a soft spot. I will say, I saw this movie when it first came out, and I hadn't seen it since, but it is exactly as I remember it. It felt like a fever dream. It felt like, am I on acid? Is this really the movie right now? Because I agree with you. I think there was a lot of potential, and the execution of it was just like really weird. But did you know that this director went on to direct Ella Enchanted?
Ooh, that's fun. I like Ella Enchanted a lot.
But doesn't it like make sense that like if you gave this guy like more money, he's gonna make Ella Enchanted, like the fairies, just like how like hyper realistic that was? I don't know. Obviously, we're doing our Shakespeare month this month, which honestly I very much love this prompt. This is the Midsummer Night's Dream. And so I do think out of all of our adaptations we've seen this month and will go on to see, this took the most liberties. Thoughts?
I think it's like automatic when you turn it into a musical, especially, which I thought was a cool idea. I liked the idea that they were like singing songs. I thought some songs were catchy and everything. I think the fun part of Midsummer's Night's Dream is that they spend a lot of time with the whole weird love, like cool, not even quadrangle weird arrows everywhere going. And then with this one, it's like really towards the end that like you'd see it truly emerge. And when Allison starts to like Burke again, and that's when it like truly comes into formation. But at that point, it's like doesn't matter because the movie's basically ending and it's not really stakes to it. Where I feel like it could have been like more fun to have that issue come up like halfway through or something like that, like with all those issues of each other. And then even then it would like it wouldn't fully commit to anything. Like when Stryker was hitting on Kelly at the party, he like does it for like a second and then it's just like, oh, because he's drunk and whatever. And it's like, no, like it's supposed to be like that's not how it is in play. And I feel like we could have more fun if there actually was like proper conflict about it and actually the wrong people liking the wrong people.
Yes. I had the same issue when I was watching it because I was just like, especially I think after watching 10 Things I Hate About You and She's the Man. For this one, I felt like they were trying so hard to make a rom-com about a guy who got broken up with and then shoehorning in Midsummer Night's Dream when it should have been the reverse. They should have just stuck with the original Midsummer Night's Dream and then sprinkled in the Burke situations because I feel like every single time we went on those antics where it was like the party, the sex club, the parents and their TV show, these were all cool things, but they weren't helping the story along. They were just fun anecdotes. And I don't even like Burke as a protagonist. I thought he was so unlikable that I was confused as to why Kelly was into him, why Allison would have dated him. I just didn't get any of that. So I agree with you. And then the two best friends of Kelly and Allison didn't really have any purpose other than just being an added extra character. So like Mila Kunis's character, they needed someone to end up with Cisco. And Cisco was like a very popular like early 2000s, late 90s, like Crazy Legs. The other girl was just there to hook up with Stryker. And I feel like it would have been much more beneficial to everyone if Stryker had just hooked up with Kelly that night. Because Stryker, even though he was a total douchebagoosh, at least he's hot. And he's played by Shane West. He's played by A Walk to Remember. And I liked the whole boy band aspect and stuff. Like I liked what they were trying to do. I just don't see why you had to take a Midsummer Night's Dream.
Yeah, I agree. And then it's like for like you mentioned, like the party and the sex club, and it's one of those things where I'm like, I don't know what it was like to grow up during that time period, but to me, those are so unrelatable, especially for high schoolers. And I'm like, okay, I get it. It was illegal, whatever. Like the cops came in and stuff like that. I feel like that's also part of the reason why like 10 Things I Hate About You or like She's the Man with All Santa, like it's a carnival. It's a kids carnival that they go to. That's like the big scene, or it's a restaurant. Like it's places where like kids still nowadays would hang out.
Yes, exactly. But I'm gonna go like even that what you're saying, the reason why those adventures work is because it always ties back to the main plot. Like at the opening of this film at the nightclub, at least all of our characters are there. So even if it is like a teens club where like they're hanging out, because that actually does exist in some states, at least all of our characters are in the same place. The sex club was fun. I laughed. You could have literally taken it out of the script and wouldn't done anything. The clumsy, like hot girl, that was just really misogynistic and made me cringe we should just do a whole month where we just dissect early 2000s films and you'll understand what I'm saying, like the misogyny of the early 2000s. Well, that's actually pretty cool though. I will say in the early 2000s, there was like this weird form of the rom-com where they did what they were doing here. They're trying to gear it towards the male audience. The puke joke.
No, I remember it. Same thing with Pitch Perfect starting off that way. I always skip that part. I'm just like, please stop. Why is this fun?
Or bridesmaids in the street. And I'm like, I don't get it.
There's such a long bit out of bathroom jokes that I'm just like, you have lost me. Like personally, like I know that other people are into it. That's great. And I love seeing women do bathroom jokes as well. That's great. But like, I just don't like bathroom jokes in the first place. So it doesn't matter who's doing them. I'm not going to find them funny.
We were down with the empowerment of women being able to do that too. The one thing we have in common with taste that we've discussed multiple times, it can be a guy, it can be a girl. Bathroom jokes, no, it's not funny. It's a cheap joke. It makes me uncomfortable. Back to the movie.
Yeah, I think it was like, it's cool that they're all there and everything, and that's fine. I wanted to see more scenes where people were interacting, not through the play. And it was a weird situation where I felt like anywhere we were, people weren't fully interacting, and then I was kind of getting lost on like when the big interaction was going to happen, and then it like finally kind of came between Stryker and Burke in the performance itself. You know what I mean? I was like, I already know he's going to get the girl. She likes him, and he has both options now, and like he could, you know what I mean? Like he already won against Stryker, so now it's such low stakes to me.
100%. Now we're just like, who is he gonna pick at this point? For me, I feel the opposite of what you said. I feel like if this movie, like the log line of this movie is that like he loses his girlfriend, so he's gonna go join a school play to get her back. I kind of wish they had just done a High School Musical type of beat where if you're gonna make this about a Midsummer Night's Dream musical, just commit whole hog. Because to be honest, I loved the director. I thought he was funny as hell. He was toxic, obviously, but that was what was so funny to me. I liked when they're dancing. I liked the songs. When we actually finally fucking got to see the musical and they're like, Billy Shakespeare. I liked that stuff. And my favorite part of the whole show was when they were fighting on stage. Like, I thought that was so funny. So I wish that they had just like committed to that. Like, forget the basketball thing. That died really quickly. I think they just put that there because like he's a guy's guy and like to prove how much like he's not into musicals, but they didn't really ever do anything about that. Friends were incorporated in the musical in some way. Like if they were like, we gotta help him get over this girl, I wish they would have like joined 100%. Like Cisco joins and then the other friend doesn't, but I feel like every time Tom Hanks' son, who for some reason started his career doing these types of movies. If you look at his like IMDb, it's all these types of movies. I don't know. It's just a Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump's child. 10 Things I Hate About You. What is the commitment? Get her to the prom. And every single scene is get her to the prom. She's the man. She wants to play against the other team. So every single scene connects to that in some manner. You know, even the cotillion bit, which is like the basketball bit, that's developed.
Yeah, so it felt like the whole time there were just not really true stakes. Like with the whole basketball bit, it was just the coach would yell at him when he was late, and that was kind of it. And then we had that one like fun scene where he accidentally like walks out there and doesn't feel a breeze on his legs. There wasn't ever truly like a moment of like, you know, pick between the two, or you're gonna get kicked off the team if you don't practice more or something. Like there wasn't really a big consequence, and he was still fine playing. I agree with you. I don't know what the point of him even being on the basketball team was, because he was so unlikable. It didn't like help his favor to me for him to be like so versatile or anything like that. So yeah, and then like the other conflict was that girl that he dated, right? The really clumsy girl. And I think the point of her, besides the misogyny, is that it's like, why doesn't he just move on and date around? And then it's just like, oh, well, this is the only option. That's the way of us showing why he's so into like Allison and can't move on from dating, is because the one girl that he goes on a date with is just has bad luck. That answers that question. And it felt like I'm just like, if we're gonna commit to the idea of him trying to move on, I would have liked a montage of him like trying to date different girls and like him kind of like screwing up or like being upset about Allison still and not being able to get over it. What was going on?
She said that title of the movie.
Well, like that would have been a fun way to see, like, just try to address that aspect, because this is all like it's about the play, but for him, his goal is to get to her, right?
I like what you said about the whole get over it. It would have been interesting if we saw him like compare all these girls to Allison, because I also don't know what is so fucking great about Allison other than the fact that she is pretty. I don't know anything about this girl other than that she is a cheerleader and she's pretty, and that her bedroom made me think about 2000s again, and I was like, oh my god, a boombox and CDs, and she's dating Stryker, the Walk to Remember. She doesn't laugh at my jokes like Allison, she doesn't this like Allison, she doesn't that like Allison. Like, why can't you move on? What did you like about it?
Oh, about the movie? Yeah, I liked the friendship between Mila Kunis's character and Kelly. I liked that they were the only ones that were like supportive of Burke when he was embarrassing himself in front of everyone, and they weren't like mean girls or anything like that. Like they were like pretty girls who were supportive, and I was like, oh, that's a breath of fresh air we don't always see in movies. I know that it is partially because Kelly likes him, but also like the whole brother sister dynamic, friends of that plays a part into it. So I thought I liked that. I thought it was a cool idea that Kelly was helping Burke like prep for the auditions and stuff like that and practice together. I liked that whole aspect, and the brother being like, what's going on and that sort of thing. I thought the director was fun. I really liked the opening number. I loved the way it started off, and then I was just kind of like hoping for more of that throughout. So I liked the songs at the end. I did like that they were fighting on stage, Stryker and Burke. And I think they did a good job picking someone like, I feel like Allison is a good choice because we don't see it, right? But I feel like it's a fitting person of like, but I get it.
I do see it because she literally looks like a pixie fairy queen. Like, I totally get it. And to be honest, to the point of the play, the original play is an ensemble piece that shares time with everyone's perspective and point of view. The movie is all about Burke, and I can't stand Burke. And so, did I have fun? Yes. Do I think this is a good adaptation? No. I do think I would like to one day remake Get Over It. And then go on to direct a Disney movie. I think that's what happens. Like, you know? Any final thoughts?
No, I'm down to talk about what I would do differently.
What would you do differently?
I think we kind of like went into it a bit. I would love to have the montage of him trying to date other girls. I would like the full actual love issue where it includes that Demetrius is in love with Hermia, not with Helena. It's not two guys fighting over one girl. It's supposed to be that like each person is fighting for the other person's affection. And it's just, oh, if we all just liked the person who liked us, it'd be fixed kind of thing. And I feel like, honestly, I don't think I'd keep much from the original. So I feel like I'd just kind of like build off of that and go start from the beginning, kind of like start from scratch. Like I'd cut a lot of scenes and change things up and make it more revolving around the play and like the dynamic of high school. If you actually had that true dynamic that it is in the play, there's a lot of fun to be had with that.
I think I have to just back up everything you said. I think I would just make sure that every single scene had to do with the main four. I would like to investigate more the love of Hermia and Demetrius. I agree. I probably wouldn't have spent so much time with the brother, but at the same time, it's Colin Hanks, so I kind of understand. My question to you is, do you think that the director was playing like the Puck role?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess he would be the closest to it because we really don't see anyone else be it. Because the only other major person is that guy who's like really good at theater and then gets injured and like gets gotten rid of. And I'm like, why couldn't have he been Burke? I liked him.
Fantastic. When he was speaking in like during the rehearsals, I was like, you're better than the whole main cast. Like, this is unfair. This is Hollywood at its finest. It's not fair. What would you rate it?
A 6. I think a 6.
Me too. 6.
Yeah, I liked seeing Kirsten Dunst and Mila Kunis and the Walk to Remember guy. So yeah.
I'll always remember. I want to know now if he took this role before or after Watch to Remember, because that's fun because it's both plays. He's playing two different people in plays. I will say I loved like the costumes and like the makeup and like the props and the production design of the early 2000s because it was authentically that. It's set in present day 2001, and I thought that was so dope. Like Stryker gave her a CD, not like look me up on Spotify. You know?
Is that how people talk?
What's up? Anywho, yeah, what are we watching next?
I don't remember the name.
Either.
You picked it.
I picked it. Fuck. I'm getting a bad reputation on this channel for picking not good things.
No.
I would like to return Belize, please. But he wants to pick her up in aisle 4.
4? I made it to aisle 4.
This one I'm actually extremely excited for because this is the most Shakespeare of all of our adaptations. Joss Whedon's 2012 Much Ado About Nothing.
Ooh, that's exciting.
It is. I'm actually very excited because it literally, like, you'll see. You've never seen it before, right?
Nope, I have no clue.
I saw it in theaters. I loved it so much. Okay. Thank you guys for watching. Comment down below if you have any thoughts. Do you like bathroom humor? It's okay. No one judges, but we will. But honestly, yeah, if you've seen this movie before, please let me know because I feel like I'm alone in the world. I feel like it was like a fever dream of my childhood. So who's to say? Belize, any closing thoughts?
No, yeah, that's it. I would love to hear like how you guys would do it differently as well, whether you think they did the full justice to the play or not.
As always, my name is Sam.
I'm Belize.
And this has been Heartbreaker Films.
See you next week.